Adobe has released a new version of Photoshop, which is Photoshop CC 2015.5. In this video, I will tell you some new features and changes in Photoshop CC. It will be fun, so let's jump in Photoshop. Okay, so the Photoshop has introduced a new design interface for Photoshop. To get this design interface or to load this design interface, we will go to Edit, Preference, General, or just go directly to Technology Preview. So from here we will click on check mark on Enable Design Space Preview. So hit OK. I think it is not completely done, but it looks really interesting. Now you can see that this is totally different thing. Press Control 0. Okay, so it is like this panel is for layers, and basically I think it is for the web designers and web developers to create HTML PHP type things, so for codings and these type of things. But it is kind of interesting, like I really like this. It's really smooth and very nice working. You can just change it to it is really nice. I like this thing. So okay, so this is the first new thing in Photoshop CC 2015.5. and to go back to your previous or default preview, we'll just go to Windows and click on Return to Standard Photoshop. So hit OK, and there we go. So it is a older design interface. So okay, so in this feature, this is a search font, or we can say match font. In this feature, it is really interesting thing that while you have some images in which you want to search some fonts which are used in on that images, so this is the best thing. You just need to create a selection around the font or the text which you want to check the font. So we'll create a selection around this font, or we can say this font is a single image. So go to type and go to match fonts. It will check your system fonts first. If you have that font in your system, then it will show you the fonts like Arial. It is an Arial font, obviously. And if you have connected with cloud, so it will give you the typekit search and online fonts, and you will get your font. Like this is a Arial font. You can easily modify this, but now we can just check these fonts. Go to type and match fonts. Okay, it will take a little time. Obviously it will not tell you all these fonts, but maximum fonts which are used in this selection, it will show you in your system if you have these fonts in your system. But if you don't have in your system, and if you have connected with cloud, so it will search online in typekit tool. So it will show you the search here. For that time I am not connected with cloud, so that's why. Okay, and this is the second feature of Photoshop CC 2015. Okay, so the third feature is face match. It is really interesting that it is really funny also. Like it will create it will detect some faces in images if they are like accurate faces. But let me just show you the working. So we'll create a copy of this layer and go to filter and go to Lequify. From there you will go directly to the face tool. Now you can see that it is creating three selection, because these faces are not obviously like front faces, like these three faces, and it will show here me how much faces it detected. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and now it is a funny thing that let's just select this one. It will automatically tell you that which phase we have selected, like phase 3. So we'll select phase 3, and let's just move to the phase 3. Now which things you can do with this. So if you want to do in singles things like your eyes, you want to make bigger eyes or you want to make smaller eyes, and you can just change them from here too. You can see that bigger or smaller eyes. And now eyes height, it will change the height of the eyes. Like let me show you if the eyes are bigger or smaller. Okay, So let's just make them a little bigger to make it a little funny. So now eyes width, the size of the eyes, or we can say length of the eyes, you can see that width of the eyes, sorry, and the eyes tilt, like the rotation of eyes. Look at this. And eye distance, which how much distance will be between those two eyes, you can see that. And now you can change nose, also nose height, if the nose is long or small, and nose width, if the nose is in width or like smaller or bigger in width, you can see that. Let's just make it smaller. And now its mouth, let's just add smile in this face. If you will go forward like 100%, it will create a little smile on that. It is really funny. And if you want to go downward -100, and it will give it a little sadness if you have a single, or if you have a small expressions, or you can say default expression, then it will make it sad. And if you want to make it smiley, so it will go to smiley. So now you can change the lower lip also, you can see that, and the upper lip, and this is the lower lip, sorry, this is the lower lip. And mouth width also, if the mouth is bigger or smaller. It is really funny, I really enjoyed this thing. And mouth height, you can see that, mouth height, sorry. And now it's a face shape. What is face shape? Like if the face is forehead is smaller or bigger, you can see that. And let's just make it smaller. And if your chin height, your chin is long or small, you can see that. Let's just make it smaller. And jawlines are wider or like smaller. Look at this, we will make it smaller. Face width, the face is like widthy or like lengthy, so we will make it a widthy, little lengthy, like this. And so you can do much more things, like here from here you can check mesh and mask things. So there are a lot of things here. You can just change every face singly. So hit OK, and this is the before and after. And I think the after one is much better than real one. So let's move to the next feature. Some images you have, like this is a rotated image, like it is not like a really straight angle, but if you want to make it straight, you will go to crop tool, click on this, and you want to make it like straight. But when you will click on this, you will see that your image is cropped. You can see that it is like smaller image than before original image. So if you want that, now click on this again and look at this. Now I want to make it straight, but I don't want to make these corners deleted. So here comes content aware. So click on this, and you can see that it is showing that these sides are white, but actually it will not be white. It will automatically fill it with content aware tool. So you don't want to lose your image size, and it will automatically straighten too. So click on this check mark, and there we go. So this is your image, or straightened image. Let me show you the before and after view. This is the before and this is after view. So you can see that when you will do a default rotation, default crop, you will see that there are white corner including in this wallpaper. But when you will turn on the content aware, so it will automatically fill the area with contents. So I hope you like this also, and this is the best thing in Photoshop. And let's move to the next feature. Okay, so the Photoshop has changed refine mask tool. So let's just create a selection with quick selection tool to avoid the wastage of time. Basically I'm going to create some rough selection. Okay, so in older version of Photoshop, you just click on there was a button here which was refine mask, but Photoshop has changed in Photoshop 2015.5. the features change, replaced to select and mask. So we'll click on this select and mask. There is also an addition. You can see that it is onion skin. Onion skin is that when you will make it 0%, it will show you the original background of the image, and when you will make it 100%, it will show you the changed background. Okay, so if you want to make some better selection like this, you will get your original background, and of course you can make different type of layers on which you want to work, but let's just check this one. And there are a lot of things changed in this feature, like if you want to remove this background, like let me just select this one and check this, it will doing it quickly without wasting or without loading. You can see that, but you can see also that it is not you can say removing background, it is also cutting this. So what we'll do is we'll go to contrast, lower the contrast, feather should also be lower, and the shift edge also be 0. We will change it later. So let's just start working on that. Now you can see that it is removing the background from the image, from the hairs. You can see that it is really doing it very well and very nice. Look at this. Let me just remove this also. Okay, so in this version you will not lost your hairs, because it will also detect these hairs in background, from background, sorry. And you can see that much better selection. So let's just remove it also to complete this process. And you can see okay, so let me just add one thing, that if you have any problem, let me just zoom in, you have removed the wrong area, or if you have want to add some more area, there comes the selection tool. It will, if you will click on this, it will add that area automatically. You can see that it is basically a quick selection tool. You are creating selection in this, or if you want to remove the selection, you can easily do that work like this, and it will remove this. Oh, sorry. And now you can refine this. So this is the best thing in this feature. And now comes the shift edge. Don't do it too much, just a little bit, it will make a really nice selection. So hit OK now, and you can see that it is the background is removed now totally. You can see that, and it is also a very nice we can say that feature. You can just revert back to your default quick selection, we can say refine mask tool, but this one I really like this, and it is really fast and very powerful tool. So I hope you like this video, and I hope you will found it helpful too. We will meet you in next video, so take care and keep learning.